Friday, it's the 29th of June. Time to go to Manchester.
Sorry, train manager speaking. Welcome on board passengers during this morning's 10:20 emergency train service. Manchester Piccadilly service will call on Milton Keynes Central, Stoke-on-Trent, Stockport, and the arrival of Manchester 12:20. First passengers towards the rear of the train, standard accommodation towards the front. Got 5 coach on board. Coach A is very close to the train. Coach C, completely unreserved carriage today.
So we're in Manchester for a couple of reasons. First one is it's the Cycling Embassy of Great Britain AGM, and those are always quite fun because they tend to involve some infrastructure safaris. So going out and pointing at curbs and discussing the good, the bad and the ugly of what it's like to cycle in these places that we visit. There's another reason for visiting Manchester, which is that they recently elected their first Metro Mayor in Burnham, and so he has appointed Chris Boardman as his commissioner for this. And so today, Chris Boardman is officially launching his sort of plans, his programme for how he intends to transform this city, solve its problems, enable cycling and walking for everyone. So the first thing we're going to do is today we're going to pop into that, see what the plans look like, and then I think over the next couple of days here in Manchester, probably over the next 3 or 4 weeks maybe on the channel, we'll do a few infrastructure safaris and take a look at what the state of the city is right now and some of the first things that they've already achieved and what might serve to show off what the future of the city could look like.
This is nothing to do with any of you in the room. This isn't for you. This is for people who drive cars. Yeah. You know, that's the point of this. That's the difference. This is so they look out the window and go, "Oh, I quite fancy that." Because if they don't do that, then it doesn't work. I've been here for about 9 months now. I'm a glass half empty kind of person, and I've been incredibly surprised, frankly, by the enthusiasm and the desire to do it from the top down. It's been a real pleasure, and I think the approach we've taken, which is not without risk, which is give the pen to the districts. You tell us, you choose who's in the room, you tell us what you think it should be, and then going out to the public and saying, right, here's all the maps, No, they're not finished, they could be wrong. That's good because you tell us how they should be for you. So we've made it belong to Greater Manchester. We're flying by the seat of our pants because we're moving so quickly, but I really think it's worth it. It's been incredibly exciting. And as we go along, if we do find some speed bumps, then they're ours and we own them together rather than somebody imposing stuff on you and people point at it. And I've really enjoyed the collegial way that we've gone at it and the courage of the people that have been involved as well to let us do that. But we've got somebody at the top who phoned me up and said, yep, I will, let's do it, I will back you if it gets messy. And one of the first things he did is say, right, we've got this 240 million quid fund that's come in and I want to use 160 million of it for this topic, ring fence. And that's proper leadership and it makes a massive difference. Not just the money, but the fact that somebody stood up and said, this is a serious topic and we want you to get it done. It's an unignorable chance for us to do something on a scale, and it may sound melodramatic, but to learn from all the people that have gone before us, all the things that have happened in London, and say, right, let's take all that learning and do something, and do it on such a scale that our intention that is unignorable by the rest of the country. So this isn't just about Manchester, this is about the entire country, which is pretty exciting to be involved with.
Well, I don't think we could have expected anything this amazing when we asked Chris to be our first cycling and walking commissioner last year. But the strength of this is through what everyone's put into it, isn't it, Chris? The work of the districts. I want to thank all 10 of our GM districts, to be honest, because they did it. They bought into it. All of the leaders. Sir Richard Lees is here somewhere at the back. Richard, all the other 9 leaders of Greater Manchester gave this their backing. So it's not just me. We've all put the political backing behind you, Chris. Don't go anywhere else. You're trapped here in Greater Manchester. You've got to deliver this plan. I'm going to kick off in here. Yeah. But I mean, the thing, just a couple of things that I wanted to say was, I think there's, if I can say quickly, 3 things about this that I think are groundbreaking and what will deservedly get this a lot of attention and hopefully really take the whole debate about walking, cycling, active travel up to a new level. The first is the consistency of it. You know, the idea that you take a place like Greater Manchester and you kind of apply a single standard across the whole piece, and also you create a map that works across the whole area. You know, you give people that kind of way through to kind of follow their usual journeys, their usual patterns of the places that they go. We haven't done that before with cycling and walking routes. You know, we've kind of left it, it's patchy, a few white lines here and something else over there, but it's never knitted into one integrated system that can then integrate with the rest of the public transport system. And I think that is truly groundbreaking. The second thing is, of course, that it isn't just about building new infrastructure everywhere. It knits together, as you were saying today, Chris, to the Greater Manchester leaders. It knits together quiet roads, older, unused or quieter off-road infrastructure, then possibly with more segregated provision as you get closer to the main centres of population. Again, I think that is its strength, that's its ingenuity, and you know, we are really in your debt for having kind of pieced all of that together and made sense of it all. But you know, I think the most compelling thing about it all is the kind of approach that you took. Now, I think when you came in, when I appointed you last year, people will think Olympic gold medal winning cyclist, this is all going to be about, you know, bikes that you can pick up with your little finger and kind of wrap around sunglasses and lycra and all of that. And actually, it was not about that at all. And that was, I think, the genius behind your plan. This was about 12-year-olds cycling on their own. This was about mums with a double buggy. This was about people with disabilities or visual impairments and helping them get around and navigate the community. I think that is its Beeline's great strength. It's for everybody, every man, woman and child. It offers something for everybody. And actually that's, I think, how I was able to build the political support with the leaders, because, you know, people will say it's a lot of money, but, you know, how else could you spend £160 million on transport in Greater Manchester and touch all 10 of our boroughs and hopefully touch the lives of everybody within those boroughs? I think this is the way to do it. And this investment pays more back than any other transport investment that you can make. It pays back in terms of people's transport, congestion. It pays back in terms of people's health, physical health and mental health. It pays back in terms of air quality, but I think it also pays back in terms of the economy. As we go forward with Greater Manchester, we've got to create high quality public realm, because if we want to attract people to come and live here, we've got to create a place that really works on every level, and a place where people want to be and want to live. And as we're kind of looking at the way we bring forward our plans for regeneration, we want that high quality public realm to be in all of our towns, at the heart of good development, and that's what, again, Beelines is all about. So it is truly radical, truly innovative, in the best traditions of this great city. We are always pushing at the edges, doing things differently. Who'd have thought a lad from the Wirral would have come here and, it's amazing, isn't it?
That was a backhanded compliment.
It's actually been a kind of brilliant example of how, if you do politics with people, you end up with a much better result. If you do politics on your own in a room and try and impose it on everybody, surprise, surprise, it doesn't work and nobody buys into it. So actually, the Beelines concept is brilliant, but it actually says more about how you do things and build things with people. And I think it points the way to a much healthier way of doing politics in our country as well, and changing communities for the better. And let's build on that. Here is a fantastic plan. Let's get the whole of GM behind it, all of our communities, and let's go out there and let's make it happen. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
So that is the Beelines plan launched. It certainly sounds very impressive, very ambitious. I guess a couple of things particularly stood out from that, which were that Chris himself and his team clearly really understand the principles of what works, in terms of they had the whole package there, sorting out the main roads, the barriers that they form, putting protected space, properly designed protected space on the main roads, also sorting out the residential streets, the high streets, creating the livable low traffic neighbourhoods. So they had the whole package of interventions that are needed. They weren't just focused on one thing, they were talking about building the whole network, not just individual routes. And I guess the other thing was that Andy Burnham himself, he may not have got every single detail like that. You don't necessarily expect or need the person at the top to get every single detail like that, but what he did get was the vision, the importance of this, the reason why the team needed to do all of these things, needed to get everything right. Well, they need the scale of investment, the scale of intervention. So that was good. I guess the proof will always be in the delivery with these things. A little bit cautious, having seen so many times before people saying that we're going to have a cycling revolution and never actually delivering on the promises. So we're off now. It is coincidentally the last Friday in the month, so that's also Critical Mass Day. So we're going to gate crash Critical Mass, and I think that will be a very nice way to round off the day, and also to do a little bit of a miniature tour of the city. So yeah, do make sure you're subscribed, because like I say, we'll have 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 videos coming up from this trip. I think tomorrow we're going to be looking at Salford. Apparently they have some exciting things planned as part of the Beelines. Then we're also planning to look at Oxford Road, so a major arterial road through the city that has recently already been totally transformed by having through motor traffic filtered out of it. It's now bus and cycle only. It's got some cycle tracks and other bits of infrastructure to look at along there. So that should be interesting. Compare it to the quality of what London has done. I'm not sure exactly what else we'll get to see, but I am booked in at the end of the weekend to then head off into the Peak District. So that will round things off, slow down, have a break from the city, and go for a little mini tour across the Peak District, see some of the National Cycling Network and talk about that a little bit. So yeah, like I say, hit that subscribe button if you're